I decided to make another video. This time it's about libraries, and I think libraries are fucking great. Libraries are lovely. I've been inspired to make this video because World Economic Forum just posted recently to their Instagram feed about the bookrest-shaped library here that looks like a book in Dubai. And it's really cool. So I wanted to make a video about my top 10 favorite libraries. 1. Seattle Public Library downtown looks like a thing. I don't know, what does this look like? Does it look like a diamond? Does it look like a duodecahedron? Does it look like an infinity gauntlet? I don't know what it looks like. It looks like, but it's really cool, and it's right down the street from the Renaissance Hotel downtown, where I have spent time. Number 2, the Snow Isle Library System Public Library in Langley, Washington. Now, my first novel, that isn't published yet, but you're gonna be reading it soon, is called The South End, and Langley is a big feature focus in this book. It has taken me, I'm gonna get onto this subject in another video, but my novel has taken me almost a decade to write, and I hope it's good. Langley's a big part of it. The Langley Public Library I did not mention in my book, and I'm a little bit ashamed, because now I find out that Conan O'Brien, one of my favorite fucking people in the world, had a trash can outside the library dedicated to him, and he put his picture on it. And since I live on the other side of the mountains now, I haven't been able to go home and look at the trash can. Is there a plaque on it? What does that drawing look like? I want to see the trash can. I wish somebody had just taken me home, because I still have a house on the island. I wish somebody had just told me, Conan O'Brien, one of your heroes, one of your fucking heroes is gonna be in the town that you grew up in, that you went to middle school, high school, elementary school in, that you went to church and Boy Scouts and basketball games and baseball games and soccer games and horse riding, and you went to the county fair. All of my childhood memories were in this town, and Conan O'Brien is one of my heroes, and he has a trash can dedicated to him, and I didn't get to see it, and it's right outside of my second favorite library in the world. I realized I just freaked out. Number 3. The University of Washington Library at Red Square. Now, this is the main campus of the University of Washington, and this is the main library at the University of Washington. There are several brilliant libraries at the UW. I was rejected by the UW, and I'm still a little bit sore about that, because guess where my mom got her master's degree in library technical science from? The fucking University of Washington. She worked in that library, and when I was a kid, she would take me and put me in the back of her little red Volkswagen Rabbit, you call them Golfs in Europe, and she would drive me to her work when I was too young to go to school. And I remember, this is where my love of grandiose libraries came from. This is where my love of technical library speak came from. This is where my love of the Dewey Decimal System came from. This is where my love of the library system in general came from. Even though it's my third favorite library, it's the library that gave me the most formative experiences of my reading career. I didn't know how special this experience was at the time, but I do now. And I really love my mom for doing that. She had to do it because she couldn't afford daycare, and she couldn't afford a babysitter, and my sisters were at school. But I think of it as a blessing. And if she's watching this video, thank you, Mom. I really, really, really am glad that you did that for me. Number 4 is gonna have to be the Western Washington University main campus library. I have mixed emotions about this library. The reason I make the list isn't necessarily because the library is fantastic. In fact, most of the library just seems normal. But they had this one room that we called the Harry Potter room when I was attending. And when you walked into that room, you felt the enormity and the grandiosity of the human language assaulting your senses. And you felt like when you were in that room that you belonged in academia. When I close my eyes, I can see every room of the Western Library. I can see the cafe off in the corner. And I can see the reference desk where a few of my good friends from the Dead Parrot Society would volunteer. And I can see the map rooms on the top floors. And I can see the basement map rooms and overflow rooms, and I can see that one little access panel that if you took a coin to and you turned and you opened it up, it turns out it was an actual like secret room underground and there was a fake skeleton in it. And I can remember talking to people for hours about music, and I can remember working on the IMAX in Haggard Hall. And I can remember my ex-girlfriend. I can remember us walking up into the secret room that overlooked the Harry Potter room and talking for hours. And I can also remember watching her study, which was weird. And then I can remember looking out the window and seeing her holding hands with another boy in the courtyard. Number 5 and number 6 are interconnected and related. Number 5 on the list is called the MWR Library System. Now, the MWR stands for Morale, Welfare, and Recreation. And in every branch of the United States military, this is the organization that makes sure that its soldiers and its sailors aren't losing their goddamn minds. Morale and welfare and recreation is a little bit of a mouthful to say every sentence though, so we say MWR. When you go to the MWR, you're usually referring to a place with a pool table, maybe a little bar, maybe a disco or a karaoke. The MWR were the people who are responsible for the Army's esports program because before esports became professionally recognized by the organization, it was considered an after-work activity, and the place with the video games was the MWR. Now, I've been to MWRs all over the world. An honorable mention will have to be the Camp Hovey Library. We were so close to the border of North Korea at a time that was just... But number 5 is the MWR library system as a whole. So that means every military library across the country and the world. There are MWR libraries floating on the ocean, on aircraft carriers and tin cans. I wouldn't be surprised if the MWR had a library on Air Force One. That's just how quirky they are. So number 6 is gonna be the one that I have spent the most amount of time in. So technically number 6 is a part of number 5, but I'm listing them as 2 separate entries because number 6 is so special to me. And that is the Grandstaff Library at JBLM. The Grandstaff Library is just down the street from the 1st Corps headquarters, formerly known as the I Corps headquarters, which are the same thing, the horseshoe building formation on Liggett Avenue. And the last library on my list is the Everett Public Library downtown. This is a good library. And if you bothered watching this far at all, tell me in the comments below what you would pick for my 8th, 9th, and 10th favorite libraries. It might seem like a cop-out, but hey, that's what it is. But hey, if it works, it fucking works. So, the main thing is, read. I have nothing else to say.